Okay, so we're now explaining the process for returns and refunds. So upon POS session, the cashier will transact an order for the customer. So payment, validation, and print receipt. For the designed or incrementing sales invoice number, this part is working as intended. But for the additional case, for refunds and returns, refunds, and voids. Okay, so for return and refund, they share the same they share the same logic or implementation. So we will add a note here on the underneath the signature. This document is not valid for claiming input tax. Same format as the sales invoice number. And on the footer, we will add an ever increasing return invoice number above and also the references. So we will append original reference sales invoice number here. So we will adjust the font sizing to accommodate the string for the original reference sales invoice number. So we can make the text here smaller to accommodate the whole line and refer to the actual date of return, the reason, and approver. So to explain the logic for reason and approver, okay, we will tag the implementation we have on the reprint. So to process a return on the point of sale, so active orders paid here, and we would refer to the item here and select quantities to return. So for the process for return, this is for partial returns and refund for full quantity returns. For example, here, two quantities for the item ordered, and upon clicking the refund, there should be a model or prompt for the manager pin code. So this one refers to the point of sale configuration, and it refers to the advanced rights. For example, here, so it will fetch the users for the advanced rights that will authorize the refund, return, or void. Okay, so upon clicking here, the selection for the manager pin code or selection of the advanced rights users in the POS. For example, the cashier will click the refund and it will ask for a manager passcode. First, we can display here the available managers and input their passcode. Okay. So after doing the passcode entry, it will refer to the next screen here for the reflection of the negative values on the invoice. So this invoice will have the return. Okay, so I will just proceed with this one. Okay, so the data here is correct for the negative values. So this will just be the reverse or inverse based on the return quantities and also the reflection for VAT inclusive, VAT exempt, and zero rated. So we just have to make sure that the return quantities return also the negative values. And for the note here, okay, under signature, this document is not valid for claiming input tax. And on the footer, okay, add the reference number for return invoice number. And also for the original reference sales invoice number. So we will accommodate all of the string length on the width of the paper receipt and actual date of return and the reason. For the reason, okay, it must be printed or it must provide a reason beforehand. So for example, earlier we have successfully inputted the manager passcode. So after that, okay, let me refer back to the paid orders here. So we'll issue a new refund. So before clicking here, there must be a login for manager passcodes or a selection of existing advanced rights users. Okay. And after selecting the manager passcode login, there must be a reason here or a model that um, prompts the user or staff to input a reason. So this one is just the implementation or just very similar to the implementation from the reprint function. Okay. And the tagging for the reprint or the tagging for the reason. Okay, tagging for the reason. Okay, we'll just go to the orders and cycle through any examples here for the log notes. Okay, so this one has the reference for the staff. So for the approver, this must be the name of the manager or advanced rights users to be added here on the log notes. Okay. And if the scenario is if the refund has been completed and we are asking for a reprint, they should be the format on the footer portion. So we will just add the or duplicate the logic for reprint function on the return or refund sales invoice receipt. Okay, so we will reprint this. Okay, actual time logged, and this one has a reason. So this one works. So we will tag the logic for returns and refunds. So for the refund, it's just the complete refund or complete quantities refunds on paid orders. They follow the same prefix RET. And for the reprint, okay, this one. And for the void, okay, this one, the scenario. Okay, so let's go back. So for catching the requirement for the void transactions, okay, let's go back to the orders, paid orders. Okay, so we will select paid transaction, and upon refund, okay, so we will tag the full quantity. So this one works on the full refund. Okay, and upon clicking, when the items here are matching for the return documents or refunded documents or sorry refunded products, there's an option here after. Okay, so let me start first. So after clicking the refund, manager pin code access. After clicking the manager pin code access, there's a model that appears here for the reason. This field first the reason. Oh, sorry for this one. and there's a specific void invoice number, okay, for that. Okay, and for the exact implementation, after clicking the reason or providing the reason, and after clicking the refund, clicking the refund by pin code access reason, and there should be another option if the full refund will be a refund or a void. So there might be a simpler implementation for that, but we can stick for the suggestion I've made. So the uh, same implementation will be provided. So the reason approver will appear on the log notes. Reason and approver. So we will add the approver. So that will be the manager that will be logged in. And if the scenario is a reprint, it will append the reprint or duplicate copy. Now, for the reflection of the return, refund, or void in the order section, okay, there's a tagging for the normal sales as sale, void, return, reprint. That's the thing we have done here on the reprint, actual invoice in the reprint, and for the recollection. So on the orders screen or order list, there should be a classification for the orders listed here. So for the normal sales, it will be tagged as sales. Void, if there is a tag void transaction on the normal transaction here. So the default implementation for the refunds, there's an appended refund here on the order reference. Okay, so we will just add a tagging for the refund and also a tagging for the return order. So this one just refers to a system generated return order. So this might need a reference for the inventory moves history. So for this one, for the return document, okay, so this must be the item. Okay, double check. So okay, so this is the return item 1015 21 24. Okay, hmm, okay, so this one refers to the golden dragon. Okay, refund for 90. Okay, and just to provide an example, the return order here must be the moves history for the existing return quantities. So this one is not yet posted, so the moves history is not recorded. But for the done quantities or done returned quantities, this must be the post reference. So for this one, the source document must be the sales invoice number here, and also referring to the point of sale shop. Point of sale shop plus the invoice number. This must be the source document here, and also for the return order, this must be the moves history for the returned, refunded, or void quantities implemented. So to repeat, the source document for the returned item should reflect on the moves history, with the source document here referring to the sales invoice or the orders, post orders here, okay, with invoice number or the point of sale plus the invoice number for the source document, and the reference here for return order based on the moves history here. So there will be a record for the existing return, refund, or void documents. Okay, so we have covered the void and return methods, and we have implemented the reprint function. Okay, so just to give an overview, we will implement the recording for void and refunds here in the X reading report for the points here or the row values here. So we will consolidate all of the void and refund orders on the existing point of sale session. This is for singular, and for the Z report, we will tag the less return and refund on the singular row, and also the void amounts on this existing row. And we will just repeat the values here on the sales adjustment and return row. Okay, just to be clear, the amounts for return and refund will reflect on the rows less return and return on sales adjustment. Okay,